Himachal Pradesh cadre. In all the districts he has served, he has enjoyed an excellent reputation for service to the community, especially to the poor. While working as the DSP at Shimla in 1985, he was selected for induction in the newly created Special Protection Group, SPG, responsible for the security of the Prime Minister of India. He worked in the SPG from 1985 to 1990 in various capacities. Dr. Ashwini Kumar has held many important and sensitive assignments in the Himachal Pradesh Police, SPG, and CBI. He has worked as Inspector General of Police in the State Human Rights Commission at Shimla with great distinction. He enjoys an excellent reputation for enforcing the rule of law and upholding human rights of the weaker sections of society. He has had the distinction of working in close collaboration with Interpol for several years. During his service, he has earned appreciation from the Prime Minister and the Union Home Ministers. He was awarded the Indian Police Medal for meritorious services in 1989 and also the President's Police Medal for distinguished services in 1999. In August 2006, he took over the reins of the office of the Director General of Police. While serving as the DGP, he strived to streamline the functioning of the police administration in the state. He is also credited with the introduction of community policing at the grassroots level. Realizing the importance of IT and computerization, he introduced it at the police station level in Himachal Police, as well as in the lodging of public complaints online. In July 2008, after serving as the DGP for 2 years, Shri Ashwini Kumar was appointed by the Government of India to the sensitive post of Director CBI. It was indeed a proud moment for the state when Dr. Ashwini Kumar became the first police officer from the state to head the CBI. He served as Director CBI for more than 2 years with distinction and was credited with solving a number of high-profile cases and also cracking the whip against corruption and crime. He retired from the post of Director CBI in November 2010 and has been teaching human resource management and leadership to MBA students. Dr. Ashwini Kumar has been sworn in as the Governor of Nagaland on March 21, 2013. We are delighted to have you with us here, sir. May I now request you to please deliver the Foundation Day address.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all of you. As already said, today is a very historic day. Today is also a very auspicious day because we have the birthday of Mahatma Gandhi, the father of the nation. We also celebrate the birthday of Lal Bahadur Shastri, who gave us the slogan of Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. He was a teacher and son of a teacher. And today, we also celebrate the 26th Foundation Day of BIMTech, a great institution which has impressed everybody in its field of technology and management. Dear students, staff, teachers, and distinguished guests, please accept my heartiest congratulations on this important and auspicious occasion. Most respected Dr. Chaturvedi, Director of BIMTech, Mrs. Chaturvedi, Dr. Anupam Verma, Deputy Director, Dr. Professor Ishwar Dayalji, Dr. Abha Rishi, for reading the whole biodata. Thank you very much for so many details and so many good words. Dear students and faculty members, it's a matter of honor for me to be present here today to deliver the 26th Foundation Day lecture. It is a privilege for me to join you in celebrating the birthdays of Mahatma Gandhi, Lal Bahadur Shastri, and also this institution. I was happy to be asked to felicitate the members of the faculty and also launch the new website. Please join me in acknowledging the contributions of the faculty and the staff who have helped this institution to grow and gain formidable reputation. The persons who have constructed the website, thank you very much. I think they also deserve a lot of praise. And every time I'll visit the website, I will remember their services. Dear students, you are very lucky and fortunate to have this opportunity of studying in an institution which was founded on 2nd October. And as already told by the director, it has direct connection with not only the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, Lal Bahadur Shastri, and also a family known all over the country, the Birlas. Wherever one may go in the world, in the entire world, wherever you go in the country, all people will talk very highly of Mahatma Gandhi and the Birlas. The life and works of Mahatma Gandhi has inspired people from all walks of life across continents. No individual in recent history has stirred the consciousness of mankind in this world as Mahatma Gandhi has done. No individual has accomplished what Mahatma Gandhi accomplished by his message of truthfulness, love, and non-violence. Today, our country is facing many challenges. There are numerous problems in this country. You name the problem and it is there. Talk of corruption, disease, poverty, illiteracy, exploitation, inequality, conflicts going on in the heart of India and in the Northeast. You name the problem and we have it. Overpopulation. There is massive unemployment, especially the students at the rear. Thank you for coming. I know it is difficult to bring the students to a lecture like this. I'm grateful to each one of you for having come. I've been given statistics that the unemployment population in this country has touched 10.4 million. 10.4 million. There is lack of development and there is lack of opportunities, both in urban India and rural India. The question is, who can change all this? Is it possible for us sitting on this side or in the front rows to change all this? Will we be successful in bringing about change? Mahatma Gandhi said, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. We have played our innings. We are towards the last chapter of our book, Conclusions and Recommendations. It is for you, the young people, to take up this challenge. The Birlas, especially Dr. Sarla Birla and Shri B.K. Birla, were close associates of Mahatma Gandhi. Why did they set up an institution like this? And so many other institutions named after the Birlas. The idea was to bring about change. And education is the best and most important method of bringing about change in the mindsets of people and for transforming society. So today is the day for us to pay homage to these personalities. Today is the day for us to remember these great leaders and thank them for what they have done for us, what they have done for the society and what they have done for our country. These leaders had great dreams for India and its people. They wanted to build a strong India, a vibrant India, and an economically independent India. An India where there is no poverty, no exploitation, and no unemployment. An India where nobody goes to bed at night without taking food. It is for you, the young people, the young generation, who have the good fortune of studying in an institution like this, to bring about change, to take care of not only yourselves, but the have-nots in this country. All of us look towards you for solutions. We can only make recommendations. Whatever we could try, we have tried. And what you see today is before you. We have a lot of expectations from you. But many times, I see the young people criticizing everything they have in this country. Many times, they also go to the extent of appearing to be cynical. It is good as well as it is bad. It is good that you know what is wrong. It is good that you have identified. But where are the solutions? Who will implement these solutions? Who will ensure that there is no poverty, there are no disease, nobody remains unemployed? It is you. You should be a giver of employment rather than a seeker of employment. My mother used to say in Hindi, I hope some of you understand Hindi, बेटा अपना हाथ ऐसे कभी नहीं होने देना. Always keep your hand like this. Be a giver. I was happy to meet the placement in charge and we honored him. I think he's doing an excellent job for all of us and all the other professors. All of us know to give employment, to ensure nobody goes to bed without food, to provide potable drinking water is a human right, but we are not able to ensure it. I know the task is not easy, but I have always derived a lot of inspiration from books. I like to ask the students, have you read My Experiments with Truth? Please raise your hand. Good. Nowadays, today only I read in the paper, in the Delhi University, it has been introduced as a compulsory subject. I have read this book several times. First time I read it when I was in class 10, because before that, my English was not good. I couldn't understand. The original was written in Gujarati, but it has guided me, especially when I am under stress and when I am struggling. I'm sure each one of the students here want to be successful in life. Each one of you want to lead a very happy life, get married, have all the good things of life. Is it not? Why I'm saying this is I'm reminded of my time when I was also on the threshold of getting a job. That time I was not so confident. I couldn't stand up and give a lecture. I had a lot of fears and apprehensions. I was thinking that I'll be a failure in life. I was thinking, will I find a beautiful girl for my wife? I'm sure you people are much more confident than I was. And I'm sure you'll have a better life than I have had. The uppermost fear, I think, in my mind was that I want to be successful, number one, and I want to be happy. And I went to my father. My father was a very simple man of very few words. He has faced a lot of ups and downs in his life. So I can say now that he was a very experienced man. I said, Papa, I want to be very successful, more successful than you are, much more. And I want to lead a happy life. Tell me, what is my future? How should I ensure that I become successful and lead a happy life? He said, it is very easy. I'll give you a formula. If you apply that formula, you will achieve success and you will be happy. So today I want to share that formula with the students. All of you have studied in class 10 and 11 and 12, chemistry. Yes? What is the formula for water? What does H stand for? And O? Thank you. In real life, the first H stands for hard work. It doesn't stand for hydrogen. Remember, there are no shortcuts to success. Whoever it may be, Mahatma Gandhi, Billas, Manmohan Singh, APJ Abdul Kalam, you name Dr. Chaturvedi, Dr. Verma, Professor Ishwar Dayal. Each one of them will tell you. The President of United States, young man, 40 years plus, he will tell you that there is no other method but hard work. These days we see people, they want to be successful, but they want to be successful very quickly. They don't want to wait. They are very impatient to be successful. Students, today only I was reading, they want to get the question paper leaked. They don't want to study the lessons and books, and even they don't want to study even the important questions given by the teachers in class. They want the question paper to be leaked. And once they get good marks, they want best jobs. But mind you, I was in IIM Lucknow. There all the big industrialists had come for their Jubilee celebrations. So we were asked to ask questions. So I asked, what is the difference, sir? He was a big industrialist from Tata. What is the difference between a graduate from IIM Lucknow or IIMs and other institutions which are not IIM? So he said, there's no difference. So I said, but then you only come to IIM for recruitment, you don't go to other institutions. He said, because it is more efficient for us to come, because a basic minimum criteria they have already achieved. They are hardworking, they get up, they have good habits. But we also go to other institutions to do recruitment. And the difference comes there. Once they join, within 6 months, we know what are the qualities of each of these individuals, where they stand. For 6 months, we are very impressed. In the selection process, we are very impressed by IIM. But within 6 months, we know the reality. Where does this student stand? What are his good qualities? What are his habits? Is he a good team worker? The second H stands for honesty. My father told me, he said that time, when I gave this lecture to my students in Jindal University, they asked me, sir, H, you said 2H, na? H2, honesty. Is it not that honesty comes first and hard work comes second. And mind you, I didn't have the answer because my father was no more. I don't know whether he said hard work or honest. It's for you to judge. But if I remember, I think he said hard work first and honesty second. I don't know. But anyway, you must have heard about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. We complain so much about dishonesty and corruption among the politicians. The President of India is elected by all the MLAs and MPs from all the states and parliament. Abdul Kalam was scientist. He was from a village in Tamil Nadu. His parents lived on the seashore in a fisherman's colony. Up to class 10, he studied in Tamil school. And he was elected the President of India by the same politicians whom we berate, whom we say they are corrupt, they are dishonest. It is very easy to point fingers at others, but 3 fingers are pointed at ourselves. Are we all honest? Are only the politicians to blame for whatever we are facing in this country today? I've come across very, very big industrialists in my life. And one of them made a very strange request to me. That industrialist is known to be the most corrupt, most dishonest industrialist. He said, I want you to recommend somebody for my security and for my driver's job who's totally honest and loyal. Even the most corrupt people want to recruit honest and hardworking and truthful people. Even for hiring a maid servant in the house or a servant or a security guard, you want that person to be very honest. So it is not that they want to recruit. Everybody wants that I want to recruit the most honest and most hardworking person. What is the third O? Does O stand for? Oxygen. In the formula for success, O stands for obedience. However high and powerful you may get, however successful you may be in life, whatever knowledge you may have, whatever skills you may have, if you are not obedient, you will not go very far in life. Whether you are the president of USA, you have to be obedient. Today, people in USA are not getting their pay. Some 80,000, 8 lakh people. He has to obey the parliament. He has to obey his own party. If the president of USA wants to go out and visit BIMTech or go to some neighboring place, he cannot go. His security will tell him, no, President, sorry, you have to remain here. Each one of us have to be obedient. If a father has 2 sons, and he loves both his sons, at the time of division of his property, he will give the better portion of property, because property can't be divided exactly half and half. The better house to the son, who will look after his wife, because he's more obedient. If a boss has to assign work to his subordinates, 3, 4 subordinates, each one of them equally knowledgeable, competent, efficient, the task is very crucial and important for the organization. Whom will he allot that work? The one who's closest to him. Why? Because he is obedient. But the people sitting at the rear will say, ye to chamchagiri karta rehta hai sare. In life, you have to be like that. Each one of you must have studied the various properties of water. What are the properties and characteristics of water? It can be a liquid, solid, vapor. You put it in this container, it becomes round. Put it in a square glass, it becomes square. If you add blue ink in life, you will be posted in organizations, you will be having jobs, you will be having bosses who will be of different kinds. You have to be adaptable. You have to change yourself. If you join the government, somewhere it is one government which is known by the red flag. Somewhere it's a government which has green flag. Congress, BJP, CPM. You have to keep adapting yourself. Because to be successful, first you must survive. If you can't survive, you can't be successful. So for survival, you have to keep changing your shape, color. But gentlemen, dear students, whatever water you may do, ultimately it can be purified. Ultimate characteristics of water don't change. Whatever ink you may add, you can make it colorless again. You can restore all its qualities, H2O. Therefore, you also have to be adaptable. But for human beings, there are certain other characteristics than the characteristics of water. And these characteristics are ethics, values, I think one of the mottos of values, principles, and good behavior. Never compromise on your good behavior, whatever be the provocation. Humility and honesty. These values should never change like the qualities of water. Whatever container ultimately, suppose you compromise on your basic values. You may rise, people may give you a good appointment. But the moment you have served their purpose, you will be thrown out. You have so many people talking in the media, after retirement, I did not get what I wanted. They were used. They also knew that they were being used. As soon as they were of no use, they were thrown out. But if you are good water and you have the qualities of ethics, good behavior, humility, even if you are thrown out, you have the satisfaction that I never compromised on my principles. And mind you, each one of the persons is looking for good people. You also, when you have to recruit, you will want the best people who are there with you. This is my formula. And God was with me, I was lucky, and I was successful. If you have a better formula, please try it. If you don't have a formula, try this formula. I assure you, 100% success, 200% happiness. With these words, I'd like to again wish all the faculty who have been honored today, the persons who have created the website, the essay competitions, and those who won the award, and also those who didn't win the award, because next time they can always win the award. With these words, I wish each one of you, the students especially, a very bright future, health, lot of wealth. My heartiest congratulations to the management. I'm grateful for this invitation. Thank you for saying so many nice words about me. Wish you a very happy Foundation Day, and congratulations on the Foundation Day, 26th, the birthday of Mahatma Gandhi and Shastri ji. God bless you. Jai.